It's David with No Chaser, and today's topic is this concept of doing recovery just for yourself. It's one of those things that sounds kind of counterintuitive. Like most people want to do recovery because they want to get their spouse back, their kids back, or they want to get their job back, or they want to get they want to repair their lives with all the other things involved. Usually they're in a state where they don't feel very good about themselves. They basically feel like crap because of all the lying or the selfish things they've done because of their addiction. And the truth is, though, you have to do it for yourself. I may have used this example before, but I remember a long time ago I was in a meeting where this guy had said, this one guy had shared that he was like, I'm going to lose my kids, and I don't know how I can't stop drinking, and I don't know how I'm going to, how can I stop? It was really like sad because he obviously, he was just caught in this place where he couldn't live with it and couldn't live without it. And his wife was going to take his kids away because he couldn't stop drinking. And the guy next to him shared, he goes, you can stop drinking. You can take out your wallet. If you have a picture of your kids and you look at it, anytime you want to drink, you look at that picture of those kids. And in my mind, I thought, that's a nice sentiment, but truly it doesn't work that way. I, as a background for me, I used to work in case management and child welfare, and I cannot tell you the heartbreaking reality of how many parents could not stop drinking or using for their kids. Like, it's so crazy. They would die for their kids, but they would not put down the bottle for their kids, or they would not put down the needle for their kids. And in a sense, the reason you have to do it for yourself is because, that idea of like looking at the picture of the kids in the wallet, that can only work for so long because you live with yourself 24/7. Like your loved ones, your spouse, your kids. If you're doing it for even your brother, your sister, or your friends, or your coworkers, your job, or your passions in life, that is not in your mind 24/7. The only thing that's with you 24/7 is you, because the thing is, your addiction is with you 24/7. All of those thoughts, all the negative self-talk, all the guilt, all the shame, all the problems, all the issues, all the obsession, all the cravings, all the want to drink, that is with you 24/7. So you have to have something that combats that. So you have to have the reasoning is that you want to do it for yourself. And so this is why like things like self-forgiveness, this is why things like, positive self-talk are so important, because you have to utilize them in order to be sober, because you have to think of it as, I'm doing this for myself because I am worth it. And I know, especially if you've just gotten done with a long stint of drinking, or you've just done something, not so great to others with drinking, or you don't feel particularly good about yourself, it's hard to be like, I'm worth it, because you feel so low. But the truth is, you really have to try to grasp and believe that. I know that was something I definitely struggled with. As someone who also deals with depression, it was an issue that I had because I didn't think highly of myself. Stuff started to fall apart too, like physically, or I didn't feel great about where I was at in my life. I couldn't I couldn't put together an image of myself that seemed worth it, that seemed like, yes, this is something I need to be doing. And that is a cat over there. Sorry, folks, but anyways, you know what, you get out of here. You're not an alcoholic. You don't need to be in this video. Anyways, so one of the things is that I just tried to, what is a way that I can think of myself as somebody who's worth it? And it's just like, what? One thing you could think of as myself is that you only have this one life. So if you think of yourself as a big piece of crap, you're going to treat yourself like a big piece of crap, and you're going to waste this one life that you have. It may not seem worth it right now, but hopefully you can use, honestly, things like even the fear of death, or you can use some of that guilt that you feel if you were to give up, and people would, how they would feel about that. You can also try to reframe it as an idea of, even if you don't think you're worth it, the you that believes in you, that is what you have to have as a mindset to be able to make up the things you've done for other people, to be able to be responsible and accountable again. You just have to have this mindset, think of it as a more functional way, I guess. It's one of those things where it's really difficult because, I just wish I could do it for all the other reasons that make sense. But as I say over and over again, trying to use like logic or reasoning in this, addiction and alcoholism, it doesn't work that way because it just simply is a affliction that doesn't use rhyme or reason in the way that it attacks your mind. You know, one thing I know that helped me was I took care of myself. I started exercising. I started eating better. I started sleeping better. Stuff like that made me just feel better about myself, just overall, just mentally, emotionally, physically, things like that. I started being around people more, because if you're around people, they won't. One thing is that they won't allow you to crap on yourself the way that you normally do. And usually they'll give you compliments for the things that you do because you are genuinely a good person and you can take care of things and you can help other people out. You can be of service to other people. So you can get that like feedback that you need, that validation, the healthy validation, not not the ego-seeking validation, but the healthy validation you can get from other people. You can think about the way that you talk to yourself. Instead of talking to yourself, your self-talk could be, how would you talk to yourself if you were a friend? Would you say the things you say to yourself if it was a friend? I always said that if I said the things I said to myself to another person, I would go to jail. They're vile, they're awful. And also the other thing is they're just not necessary. These are all I'm trying to think of, just ways to be able to conjure up the motivation and the desire to want to do it for yourself, because that is the person that I know I have to do it for. And that's why I failed so many times, because I just did not think I was worth it. I just kind of wanted to give up on my life. I just wanted to I don't know, kind of just fade away sometimes. I just didn't think that I was ever going to make it through. That's another thing, just not having the confidence. That kind of goes in the same line of like having hope or like a lack of hope. Just not having confidence that I'd be able to do this thing. Sometimes I'd look in the mirror and I would think, if this is the person that is going to get me out of this jam, I'm screwed, and I just didn't believe that I was capable of it. But over time, if I could just put together little victories, little successes, I'd be able to hopefully do it. So hopefully that rambling made some sort of sense. Luckily, the cats didn't interrupt me again. If you like this type of content, if you like my videos and stuff like that, you want more of me for whatever reason, I do co-host a podcast called Shoeless in South Dakota. I can produce more videos, or I can do a video of your topic. If you have any ideas, put it in the comments below. If you have any questions or wanted, ideas for a topic, you can always reach me at the No Chaser email, which is nochaser@gmail22.com. No Chaser, great, screwed up the second part. nochaser2022@gmail.com. Other than that, be well. Can I think of a way to do this without being weird? Be well.